Good morning, afternoon and evening all. This is Yorkie with some F1 2013 sprint race gameplay, and I'm actually going to be treating this episode differently to all my other sprint race episodes that I've done in the past on my channel, and that is because usually, as you know, I just do the commentary over the top of the race to try and make it more entertaining. However, this time I'm actually going to look into some racecraft and theory type stuff, and that's basically all based around knowing the other drivers around you, trying to pick up on their racecraft, their driving style, where they struggle, where they're really good at, and basically just trying to capitalize in those areas. So this is kind of basically going to be a balance between commentating on what's actually happening, but also talking about that theoretical side of things. You probably do it anyway. You probably just don't really, bring it to the front of your mind and really highlight it to yourself that is actually what is happening, what is going through your mind, because you're probably, well, your eyes should be all over the road when you're actually driving, obviously looking for your braking points and your apexes, but also watching the car in front of you if you're following them, and even further up ahead as well, to see if anybody's making any contact or any mistakes, that sort of thing, which you can potentially set yourself up to capitalize on. So we're going to be using TrackIR in the Cockpit cam for this video, as you can see. We're just going to the grid now. So obviously 5 laps is a very short amount of time to actually pick up on this sort of thing with other people. It entirely depends on how long you're actually spending around 1 or 2 people. But for 25% race, 50, 100% races, and also if you're in a league, this is something that is very, very beneficial to do. So for the 5 lights then, we're actually getting an okay start, but as you can see, there's Marussia there that's basically parked on the grid, and a Sauber and a Ferrari kind of bumped into the back of them. So coming down to turn 1, obviously just trying to take it relatively cautiously, not being too overly aggressive. And as you can see, cars going all over the place. Get away with minimal contact with that Red Bull. It was already too far gone, he probably couldn't save that, bumping into him. So I'm up into 4th, we get a relatively good race. Good start. That's 5 places gained already. But my eyes are now looking to the front. As you can see, there's three cars up ahead. McLaren's gone wide, I've gone wide. Sauber's gone slip past. But if you look past these 2 cars in front of me and actually look at the front too, you can see that they're battling for first place up there. They're kind of trading paint a little bit. And watch what happens here with the McLaren in the lead. Pay attention to this. As you can see, he's gone very, very wide coming through turn 9, and pretty much everyone, including myself, there's a little bit of contact there. Managed to slip past. I didn't quite expect him to still be there on the outside. I thought I passed him fully, and that was me not reading that McLaren too well, so that was accidental as well, and I actually mess up on braking point there and lose quite a few positions because of it. So yeah, the main thing that I wanted to highlight there was the McLaren that was in first, ran wide on turn 9 and lost 4 or 5 places. Keep this in mind throughout the duration of this video, as obviously I picked up on that straight away in this race. Just trying to keep an eye out for other people and watching what they're doing. Picked up on that relatively quickly, and it was something that was kind of going through my mind through the duration of this race as we're actually watching the Ferrari and the McLaren up ahead kind of race. So I'm using a little bit of curse, trying to close the gap and see if I can potentially capitalise on this, as they're both going to be a little bit slow. Ferrari's a little bit slow out there and kind of presents a gap on the inside, which I decided to sneak up into. It wasn't an amazing amount of room, and into here is a very difficult place to actually make a move stick, especially when he is aggressive. But yeah, the McLaren that we need to keep an eye on is just ahead of this Ferrari, and look what happens. Look what's happened again. He's run wide. So in my mind, I'm immediately starting to think, okay, that's twice he's run wide on that one corner. He seems to be struggling there. Both times he's lost places, and obviously at this point I'm trying to, keep a little bit of room between me and the trading paint that's going on ahead. Also trying to stay as close as possible to what I thought was hopefully going to be a potential overtaking manoeuvre down into turn 1, but overcorrection there with the oversteer sent me out wide and I lost all momentum. So kind of having to let these two guys go past, but I want to make an undercut, which I do quite nicely. That was a very minimal tap there with the Red Bull, and using the curves allowed him to get alongside the Caterham, but obviously he's got the inside for this corner, so very difficult for me to actually get past. Quick glance up ahead, you can see the Red Bull and the McLaren still going. The Ferrari and the McLaren still, you know, side by side. Obviously going side by side there with the Red Bull. So Ferrari's somehow gone and run wide and kind of lost connection or something, I don't know. But the McLaren has become very, very slow because of it, and the caterers of Pink Pop and now has managed to get alongside. And they're actually going hammer and tongs at it at the moment. Obviously, I'm trying to keep an eye on this Red Bull and not go into a bump of him, but I'm also watching to see if the McLaren, once again, which is exactly what he does, struggles through that corner. So, in my mind, it's pretty much 100% sure now that, you know, he's not that quick through that section. And I managed to get a very naughty move up the inside there. There was a very tiny bit of contact through, I think, a lag tap, which kind of bumped him out wide ever so slightly and allowed me to sneak up the inside. However, I went and kind of completely nullified that effect with running onto the curb and going too deep into the corner. So, hopefully highlighting here the McLaren going wide in one particular place, you know, jumps out to you guys, saying that this guy struggles. This is, you know, it's a great place to overtake him. Everyone else has gained places past him in that, you know, in that sequence of corners. So obviously I want to do the same. So at the moment here, obviously I'm way down the field. I'm not where I should be. I've made quite a few terrible mistakes in this race, but I'm obviously trying to close the gap to McLaren to try and hopefully capitalise on the mistake that I'm pretty sure he's going to make, but there is a chance that he won't do it, and hopefully that he has learned from the 3 times that he's run wide there. But we're coming into that section now, and I kind of want to try and keep relatively close, but watch what happens again this time round. And yeah, that's the overtaking manoeuvre that I was very, very proud of. It probably didn't look overly too great to, you know, just watching it, but actually driving that, it felt really, really good. Obviously, he'd been struggling there the entire time. It's a real sequence of corners that is very, very difficult to overtake. Pretty much impossible unless someone does actually make a mistake like just then. Obviously, it's very, very flowing. The corner's very, very quick. It has virtually no braking zone to take advantage of, and you know, the apex speed is very, very high. There's pretty much only one line to go through there, and obviously I made it with no contact and not running wide off the track on the outside. So I was very, very happy with that. And you know, from watching him in the previous laps, seeing that he's making those mistakes through on that corner, pretty much well, turn 9, then into obviously being slow into turn 10 and 11, and people overtaking him every single time, kind of cemented in my mind that he's probably going to make that mistake again, and I want to capitalise on that. So hopefully you guys can, you know, learn from this and try and bring that to the forefront of your mind when you're racing. Kind of pay attention and watch other people around you, not just the car in front and the car behind, but like further up a field. If you're in leagues, obviously that's going to really, really help, because you're going to be racing against the same people across numerous different tracks throughout the calendar, and hopefully from that you'll be able to pick up who's good, who's like really, really fast, but who also struggles in, say, traction zones or braking zones, and then try and capitalise on those weaknesses. So hopefully you guys obviously enjoyed the video and actually, you know, saw what I saw whilst doing it. Obviously I highlighted it a little bit more to you guys, but hopefully you guys were able to, you know, understand what was going through my mind whilst actually racing during that sprint race. So hopefully you guys learned something from it. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below, and of course please give the video a rating, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, as there's plenty more stuff to come in the future. I shall hopefully see you soon, guys. Take care.